Insects lay eggs, except for when they don't. This one gives birth, one offspring at a time, live, and by the time it leaves her body, it is nearly as large as she is. She is a fly, but her body has been so distorted by a life of parasitism on bats, she is hardly recognizable. They do not fly, they have no wings at all, and most of them effectively have no eyes. Pull back the wings of a bat almost anywhere in the world, and you may find one moving through the fur, fast, on legs that come out of their backs. So what are we looking at here? Let's start with their bizarre bodies. When the Nycteribiids, or the bat flies, were first discovered, no one was sure what kind of insect they were. No wings, no ocelli, compound eyes reduced to only a few facets were completely absent. The thorax is flattened, and the leg bases have shifted onto their backs. The legs rise from the back and splay outward, so it moves through the fur by pulling itself along with clawfuls of bat hair. Their bodies are covered in stiff bristles, which act as combs, locking them into the bat's hair and preventing them from being pulled out when the bats groom themselves. Their strangest anatomy is their head. The head at rest folds backwards and lies flat in a groove running along the top of the thorax, mouth parts pointing backwards. This is why the flies look headless. Their bodies are bizarre for an insect in another important way. Like I said at the beginning, they don't lay eggs. Inside the female's abdomen is a uterus. A single egg hatches in it, and the larva that emerges does not leave its mother's body. It stays in the uterus, and the mother feeds it through a glandular secretion. Only at full size does the mother release the larva. This whole reproductive process takes 9 days per baby. A female surviving a couple of months might produce only 6 or 7 young in total. So what then happens to the newly birthed, fully mature larva? When the larva is mature, the mother leaves her host bat, walks onto the cave ceiling, and deposits the larva there, cementing it in place. Within minutes, it hardens into a dark, seed-shaped pupa. Then the mother walks back, and the pupa stays glued to the ceiling. The length of the pupal period depends on whether or not a host bat is present. With bats there, development only takes about 25 days. But if the bats leave, the pupa can enter a sort of dormancy, waiting until the warmth of its host returns for it to finish development. And bat flies must wait. An adult bat fly is incapable of leaving the cave it's in. It is entirely dependent on its host bat for movement around the broader world, so their life cycles are timed for when bats are present for them to emerge and latch on. There are about 300 species of bat flies known. All of them are blood feeders. No member of this family can live without a bat. Bat flies are also among the most host-restricted blood-feeding insects known. Most species of bat flies only have one kind of bat they choose to feed on. Bats sharing a cave in mixed species groups, in physical contact with each other night after night, do not share bat fly species. Nothing stops the bat flies from feeding on other species of bats. They will in captivity, but in the wild they don't. We don't know why they don't. They just choose not to. There is one group of bat flies worth special attention because of how extreme its adaptations have become. The group Ascodipteron has gone all in on being a parasite. Well, at least the females have. A female Ascodipteron locates a host bat and burrows into its skin, frequently around the head. She sheds her legs in the process of burrowing head first into her host, and then insists. She then undergoes a process called neosomy, in which she basically restructures her body, enlarging and softening. until she becomes a sac with a mouth. All that is visible is her back end, exposed for breathing. So, what can the bats do about all these parasitic flies? They groom continuously. The bats will eat the flies if they can manage to dislodge them. But remember, the bat flies are covered in those stiff combs of hair called ctenidia, which makes them lock onto the bat fur, making them very hard to dislodge. But bats can also do one last thing to get relief. They can abandon their roosts, leaving all the fly pupae with no hosts to emerge onto.